All right, I think we're live, except my microphone is not on. All right, I think we're live. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me know if you guys can hear me all right. Welcome to my channel. My name is Stranger, and hope you guys had a good Christmas break, holiday break, and 'tis the season for some dark drum and bass. A lot of you have asked me if I can show you how to make drum and bass from start to finish, and I haven't really had an opportunity to do this for a while, so I wanted to take this opportunity while we're all on holiday break to work on some dark rolling drum and bass. I see some of you guys in the chat asking what is the difference between dark and deep drum and bass. I think there's a very fine line between dark and deep. I think and it's really up to interpretation, and it is subjective. But when I think dark drum and bass, it is a bit between dark and deep. Dark in that the sounds are a bit more moodier. There's more growly, dirty bass lines and use of dark atmospherics. I think with deep drum and bass, it doesn't necessarily need to sound dark. It could have more pleasant atmospherics with deep bass, sub basses. I think with deep drum and bass, there'll probably be less of those gnarly, growly bass sounds, whereas dark drum and bass is a little more of those sounds. To give you an example of some artists I'm thinking about, in terms of dark rolling drum and bass, I'm thinking about the classics like Ed Rush and Optical. I think their tracks I mentioned in the chat. The Matrix remix of Medicine, look that up on YouTube. There's also a track on the Wormhole album called Compound. That's a good example of dark rolling drum and bass. I'm sure you can name tons of tunes. So comment in the chat, let me know what is your favorite dark rolling drum and bass track. More recently, some producers making this style, I would say, is Skeptical. Mephius, I don't know how you pronounce his name, but I call him Mephius, or some people call him Mephuse. I would say he's kind of dark drum and bass, neural drum and bass. I think dark kind of is also a thin line between neural drum and bass as well. So Alex Perez has done a lot of dark rolling drum and bass. So there's tons of examples. So look up any of those that I've mentioned. Shouts out to MJDnB in the chat. DnB in Brazil is alive. Shouts at the Shill Pill, Delam, Data Pusher. Nice to see you here again. Miles, Marksman, RH, big up. Thanks for supporting the packs. Andreas, Joshua, Disgust. It's nice to see a good crew in the live chat today. And yeah, we're gonna be starting our track from scratch, building the drums and bass and the arrangement. So I know it's a bit of an early stream today. I have there's actually a reason for that. I have a date later this afternoon, so I got to get the stream done so I can head on out. So let's just get right on into it, and let's start building our beat. So we're gonna be starting from scratch. So building from the ground up. So I'm gonna build and select some one-shot hits to build our drum kit. Any one of those kicks sound good. See, I would just like to pull a bunch of kicks into the DAW because it's about saving time. So if you can pull it all at the same time, then you can like cycle between hits and you don't have to waste time. Okay. And I'm going to be producing at 170 beats per minute. Let me just fix the screen here. That's better. Anyways, just doing a quick two-step beat. You guys should know the pattern by now. You know, the other day when I was thinking about this stream, I was really thinking about why don't we just make a break from scratch using acoustic drums? I love how acoustic drums, you can make your own break beats. So I think we should just go with that. That was the initial feeling. So tell me you have addictive drums. Yeah. Addictive drums is an awesome tool to make new drum breaks. We can do a combination of single hits and addictive drums. So the way this works is, oh, that's way too close. First, we can choose a drum kit, right? Kind of like the soul kit. And within each of these kits, there's different variations, so you can check each one of these to see which one sounds good to you, right? By the way, guys, I'm producing on Handicap today. So the other day, I started to get this ringing in my right ear, and for some odd reason, it just wouldn't go away. And I have subtle ringing, but it wasn't this bad. And then my ear started to feel itchy. So I don't know if I have an ear infection or not, but I booked a visit to see the doctor next week, so we'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, I'm producing on Handicap right now because my right ear, there's this like faint ringing. It's kind of annoying. So comment in the chat if you've ever experienced tinnitus or ringing, and let me know how you resolved it. I lost the kit I wanted. There, that one. Okay. And then there's a bunch of in this beat section, there's a bunch of grooves which you can just leverage off of instead of creating your own, because these are like based on funk grooves. So you'll get that complete human feel of it, right? Let's try straight beat, right? Listen to how realistic that sounds. And then you can actually click and drag the MIDI in, so it plays at 170. And then you can cycle through the kits until you find one that sounds good with the sound. Doo-wop's alright. I hope it's just a cold infection. Maybe I just got a cold virus in my ear. I like how that sounds. I'm thinking of, I keep going back to the track Medicine remix by Matrix. And in that track, there's a cowbell in it. I believe he uses, it sounds like he uses the cowbell from the Worm Break. Let's see if we can find a Worm Break. That sounded alright. Let's hear it. Let's out the snare. That sounds alright. I want to explore the snare a little bit more. I don't want to commit to the snare yet. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking the snare from my Rollers kit, because then I can fine tune and shape the snare and tune it. So let's pull in the snare from the Rollers kit. I like the attack on this snare. Maybe we can take the attack from it. Like just the very tip. Oh, this snare just sounds so good on its own. Okay, let's keep going. Let's group the drums together. It's not a think shaker. The key is getting a really strong drum groove before proceeding. If you're wondering the shakers from the think break, I just isolated the shakers. This is also available in my Rollers kit. Okay, let's see if we can add some processing to the drums. First and foremost, I'm curious what will happen if we... So what I did was I grouped the drums, and I'm gonna add some... So I've grouped it in this group here. So all my drum hits are in this group. So then I'm gonna pull in perhaps some distortion or saturation to warm up the drums. Let's see what happens. So the distortion adds some nice dirk to it. So adding distortion or saturation to your drum bus is a good way to glue your drums together, so it sounds more together now. Now you may want to balance the dry and wet, because when you distort or saturate it, it becomes very boomy. And that could be desired, but if you want a more, I guess, finesse sound, and you want to balance between the dry and wet so you get some of the original signal so it still sounds natural. I'd say something like 50 to 40%. Okay, let's keep going. Let's just bring in a visualizer. I want to see how this break looks like. So if you guys seen my video from last week about making a liquid break, I'm using this, pretty much a similar process where I use isolate the drums, use specific hits to reconstruct and create a brand new break. So you can see there is no, there's only one snare. I'm not layering the snare because the snare sounds so good on its own. You don't want it to be layered because then it takes away from the headroom. And then what I did in that video was I grouped the drums like we just did, added some saturation, and then you can add some clipping. I like using clipping. I like to clip the peaks of the break. So we can, let's see if I have a clipper. No, I don't have a clip. So if you don't have, there's tons of free clipping. G-Clip is a free one. If you guys know of a better clip VST, feel free to mention it in the chat. However, if you don't, you can just use Ableton's stock glue compressor to clip. So the trick with this is you're not using any of the compression settings. So leave the settings at 0 threshold. That means there's no compression at all. But you want soft clip. Soft clip is what gives you the pleasant rounding of the tops. And then you increase the makeup, right? Now, as you increase the makeup, the drum's going to get louder. So the way I counterbalance this is that I bring in a utility. Because the utility has a gain knob, so I group these two together, and then I map the makeup to macro 1, and then I also map the makeup, the gain on utility to macro 1, and then they're gonna have an inverse relationship. So as I increase the makeup, the gain of utility will decrease. So that will balance any increase in the makeup. So probably have to hide my camera so you guys can see what I'm doing here. So so hit the map button under over here. Just click this map button. So now you can map the parameters for each macro. And then at the top, here, you want an inverse relationship. So as I increase the glue compressor's makeup, I want the max to be -20. I think that should work. So yeah, so the gain goes from 0 to -20. Whereas the glue makeup goes from 0 to +20. So that will counterbalance any increase in gain in the glue compressor. Okay, let's see if this works. So if I increase this macro here, right? Notice this knob here, the makeup and the gain. So this is very helpful. Okay, so now we can properly clip this with having an apples to apples comparison. So let's listen to the drums. Oh, this is not doing what I wanted to do. Oh, that's because so make sure your visualizer is at the end of the chain, otherwise you won't be able to see what the clipping is doing. You See, as I increase it, it's squaring it out, but the volume sounds the same. And someone in the comments mentioned that last week. They mentioned that this is a good way to get more headroom because you're clipping the peaks and you get more headroom. It sounds the same, right? Now, I try not to go, I mean, it's up to you. You could go extreme if you want. It's certainly like Dillinger, like he has some drums which are like overly clipped for that cool sound. If you want it like that, that's totally fine. And I mean, that sounds pretty cool, so. But if you don't want that crazy distorted sound, then be gentle with the increase of the clipping. It's tempting to go high because it just sounds pleasant when you squash the drums. I say around 50 for now. If we need to adjust it later on, we will. But this sounds pretty sick, pretty Ed Russian optical right now. Are any of the plugins I'm using for free? I mean, some of them are. Rift you have to pay for. But I think Rift is worth it. It's a really good distortion plugin because the good thing about Rift, I believe they have multi-band distortion now in Rift, and also they have which is an unprecedented in any other distortion plugin is you have the bipolar shapes, meaning you can have a completely different shape on the positive section of the waveform. For example, I can choose like growl. And on the bottom of the waveform, I can choose a completely different shape, right? And they have tons of really cool shapes. So this opens up a new like door into distortion, new possibilities in the distortion. However, I tend to just use the soft. I just like the analog sound of the soft. So essentially, what the wave shape is. When you're distorting a signal, essentially what it's doing is it's manipulating the shape of your waveform, right? And it needs an algorithm to manipulate it by. So there's different wave shapes to distort your signal. I just find the soft one sounds really analog, so I used this one. Okay, so this is sounding pretty good so far. So I'm gonna move forward with some other sounds. I think I'm gonna go towards some atmospheric sounds and build an atmosphere and vibe before we head on to the bass sound. So before we get into that section, actually today's video is sponsored by Spitfire, and actually all their products. I'm going to be using their products today for our atmospherics for our track, and all their products is on 40% off until January 2nd. For you guys that don't know, Spitfire, they have an awesome sample library and tool set. If you're not aware of Spitfire Labs, you should grab that. It's a free plugin by the same company. Spitfire Labs has a bunch of like atmospherics and strings and drones that you can use in drum and bass. However, they also have a number of really awesome tools that they sell on their page that are great for drum and bass and cinematic sounds. So check their site. I'll leave a link down below. All their tools is 40% off, and they're very affordable. So the one I'm going to be using today, there's one called Alev Lens. So Alev Lens is the composer of the Netflix series Black Mirror. So think like dark atmospheric cinematic sounds. And this tool has a number of different drones and dark atmospherics, which is actually perfect for this style of drum and bass that we'll be making today. And as you can see, it's quite affordable. It's just $17 for this sample library. And each library comes with its own VST, so it runs on its standalone VST. I can preview some of the sounds here. there's like dark drones and cinematic sounds and even vocal sounds. Someone said rough house drum and bass. I was actually thinking of some rough house drum and bass. Then I'm kind of feeling the old school Matrix virus recording sound right now. So this one kind of has a strange, what's that show? Stranger Things kind of vibe, that last one. So yeah, you can check it. Yeah, I'll leave a link down below for this particular instrument. This one's 17 bucks. Another one I'm going to use today is called Heinbach Landfill Totems. This one also has amazing drone sounds for dark drum and bass. So Heinbach is kind of he's a composer, producer from Berlin who does like experimental electronic sounds. This one comes with 40 different presets. Similar kind of vibe. Back then when I started producing, I've always wondered how they get those like dark atmospherics, like in the old virus recording tracks, even stuff that Skeptical does. So these libraries will give you access to those type of like kind of droney industrial sounds that you can add to your music. This other one, this one's called Henrietta Spectrum. This one also has a lot of atmospheric sounds. Yeah, and each one of these is $17, so it's 40% off. I have all three down in the links below. Also, they have a number of other products. They're all for sale right now, so if you just want to check their site, you can just find it down below. And yeah, I'm going to be using them with our track today. So let's get right back to the track. Okay, so let's first pull in some drones or atmospherics for some vibe in our track. So this is the one I have here is the Alev lens. That's the first one that I showed you guys earlier. As you can see, it has their own, they have their own instrument here that you can play the sounds with, right? Like this one's perfect already. Pure intro vibes, right? So we can just pull this in. And probably you want to make this super long, like 16 or 32 bars, so you can let the drone play out. Because a lot of these instruments, they're not synthesized, they're actually recordings. So the longer you play out, you'll have all these minute nuances and subtle differences as the track progresses. So so there's movement in the drone, so it doesn't sound repetitive. Oftentimes you may we find that our music can get repetitive, and an easy way to get out of that repetitive mode is to have some atmospheric sounds in the background that has some randomness to keep the track moving, right? Notice the sound is growing. What is that? What does that make you think of? Anyone? Okay, let's keep going. Shouts out to KW in the chat. Nice to see you here, brother. Nightglow, what's up? Lewis, Let's see. Let's add some more layers of atmospherics on top. Let's build a wall of sound. Let's find some more with this Alev lens tool. That sounds like a track I know by Circles remix, is it? Bum, 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 bum. This pad would be perfect for some rough house drum and bass. I mean, that sounds good on top too, so let's just drop it in. Let's keep adding more. Okay, so I have 3 of these open now. I was thinking this might be a good one for an intro sound. It makes me think of Silverblade. Anyone remember that track? This one's kind of nice too. It's making it really hard to choose because these are all really good sounds. Darker, that one's called. This one's called My Best Friend. Interesting. We're going into the trenches. Let's check out let's check out this one here. Henrietta. This one here, Henrietta Spectrum. That's pretty dark atmospheric. That sounds like the opening in like a gas mask or bacteria. Oh yeah, I heard this one. I think I wanted to drop this one. Total virus recordings vibe here. For this little vocal one, I'm hearing like maybe a sidechain. Oh, this is tricky. Okay, let's keep it moving. So we got some atmospherics. And once again, the atmospheric instruments I'm using is a Lev lens and Henrietta Heimbach or Henrietta Spectrum. Both of these are on sale on Spitfire today, who is our sponsor for today's video and stream. Once again, all the Spitfire products are 40% off on their site. I'll leave a link down below. You can check the direct links to the instruments I'm using today. Really cool sounds for dark drum and bass. All right, let's move on. And I'm thinking some like dark stab sounds. We may just have to move right into the bass and to get the vibe. But I just want to take a stab at, no pun, but take a stab at adding some stab sounds into this first. Sample, probably pull in some, let's see what we got. Maybe we can pull in a stab sound from OG Jungle. Let's keep going. Let's see what we can find using pigments. Pigments just got updated the other day. We're on to Pigments 4 now. Apparently you can get this cool white view, but I don't know how to change the view. Is it this one? There it is. Yeah, they got this cool white view with pigments now. Yeah. Let's look for stats. We want leads, since leads, hard lead, dirty lead. That sounds all right. That's all they have for dark leads? Come on. Okay. Let's try hard leads. When all else fails, try Rave Generator. gonna jump into some bass design. Let's get straight to that. Let's get straight to the meat of the track. We're gonna be using Vital for our bass design. Start with a sine bass. I like Vital's, it has this kind of clipped sine bass like this one. It just sounds warmer. If you're getting clicking, just increase the attack just a minute bit. Like that. Really cool. I love these wave shaping parameters, and Vital, the synthesizer, for those of you seeing this one for the first time, it actually is for free. And I'm using, some of you guys asked me what skin I'm using. I'm using the Candy Cave skin. I posted it in another video, but I don't have the link to the skin right now. But on the Vital forum, there's actually a thread for everyone's skin, and you can find it there. But yeah, I love the wave shaping parameters here. If you want your bass to always sound the same, check this phase randomization and make it 0%. Every time you hit the key, it'll be the exact same phase. The whole point with phase randomization is it's trying to emulate an analog synthesizer where the phase is random, it's free flowing. That gives you nuances in the bass sound. But with modern drum and bass, we tend to want the bass to always hit with the same strength. So if you want the bass to always hit with the same strength, you want the phase randomization to 0%. So there's no randomness. Whoa, 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 whoa. Interesting, they don't have a sine shape by default in their LFO library. I guess this is a sine shape, we just have to adjust it. that. Anyways, the triangle sounded good. That's kind of cool. Someone says, don't let this turn into another jump up tune. I promise you we won't. Oh man, just give me like a triangle. All right, are we back? Are we back? Check one, are we back? Let me know if are we back in business? Let me know if we're back in business. I don't know what happened there. We're back? Okay, we're back. Okay, good. I think my OBS crashed. I don't know what's up with it. I don't know how to make clown step. I'm trying to think of the thinking process right now in terms of the bass I want to do. I'm thinking of like the multi-chain basses that Matrix and Optical does, where you have the sub bass running and then he has a parallel chain where he distorts certain parts of the bass. I think I need to send this to multiple chains. I think we have an audio rack here, like 2 audio racks. Send this guy audio from number 17. Number 17. Audio to number 18, yeah. I'm getting confused. I don't do this very often. I want audio 17 to go to 18. Or we just duplicate it. Screw it. I know there's a way, but I can't think of it right now. This will be the sub. How did I put this in the audio? Maybe. freeze the bass track, then we'll put it as audio, and then we can chop it up. I take 2 hits. And then maybe take a reverse hit. Do some weird stuff with it. Getting in there one step at a time. You don't want the sub to play with these little bass stabs, so we'll have to like filter it out. No, don't distort the hell out of them. I want to go in on this bass design a little more. I think I want to give it another stab. This is all right. It's all right, but I think we can do better. Let's hear how it sounds with all the atmospherics. Yeah, let's try doing this pace again. Maybe a different direction. Mute it. even hear the pitch changing. Yeah, it's not changing. Pitch pen. That's odd. Why is the pitch pen not working? Now it's... Okay, I think I know what I want to do. Let's make this 2 bars. That has a 4. I want it to grow and get growlier. No, that's not how I want to do it. You can actually, so this is a cool thing. You can pull an LFO into an LFO. So you see this little clock icon? This is controlling LFO 1. It's doing the wobble sound. And you see that how the clock is at like 8 o'clock, so that's the max, it goes up. Now you can control this clock, so you can pull in LFO2 into this clock, and now it's going to control the amount of the clock. Look how wild that sounds. That's exactly what I wanted. Oh yeah. Okay. We're on to something now. I feel it. You can feel it when we're on to something. Yes, exactly. We're on to something. I can feel it. It's like this is a calling from above. Like there's a calling from above. Again, the same thing I always go through in every stream. I have the set idea that I want to accomplish. As I was listening to all this Matrix and Optical Edge, I was like, I wanted to make a track like the Medicine remix. I was so set on making something like that, and that stunted my creativity because in my mind I was like, I had to go this way, and there's no other way around it, and that stunts your creativity because then you close yourself off from all the options that are the infinite options that are available in your consciousness. And then I was like, okay, I gotta try this again. I was like, I'm gonna remove that barrier, that expectation that I want to make a tune like that I want to make a bass like that, and I'm gonna approach this without any expectations and boundaries. Let's look at this from a different approach, and all those kind of boundaries I removed, and now I was able to approach the sound design, although there's some inspiration there, but now I'm free of those expectations. I can make new choices, and I'm finally getting somewhere with the sound design. Okay, I think I want possibly white noise. Yes, Chris, next time try producing without your pants on. That might work. Remove all boundaries between you and the music. let's go through all the different noises they have. Good idea with the different speed with the noise. So this one's 1/8 dotted. Let's do 1/16 dotted. We need some distortion. Good old distortion. Interesting. Let's add some effects. We gotta have to do some routing here because I like the chorus, but it's messing up the sub bass. We'll come back to it. Okay, that pad is a different key now. We gotta tune that pad. So our bass is playing at, I believe it's playing an F. It's a G. Okay, it's G with the pitch bend, which is, yeah, it's playing an F. So what's our pad playing? It's playing a G. What if we play an octave up? Doesn't exist up there, okay. We need a second bass that comes in. Bow wah, bow wah, bow wah. Oh, you can EQ the sub bass out of the chorus. For some reason, the chorus makes it messy. We'll come back to it. I'm just fiending to make a second bass. Second bass, I'm thinking instead of a wobble type thing, a wub. foreign territory. Make this a little more expressive. Put it here. The other stream we did like last week, we learned that if we put the chorus before or after the distortion, that's a completely different sound. So make sure you experiment with that. put this into an arrangement. How much time we have? We have about 45 minutes. See if we can do anything to this atmosphere and make it dirtier. Let's try thermal this time. Yeah, good idea. I'll alternate between those the speed of that second wobble. Really loving using Portal to mess with atmospherics. Portal is really useful tool for that. It's essentially a granulizer. You never, the results are always unexpected. So let's alternate between this wobble sound. So we'll make two. First, let's see if we can do something with the speed here. I forgot what I did. Okay, let's put this into an arrangement. So we have a 16 bar block here. How do we do this? Thanks for the well wishes, man. What do we do? We'll do a three block pattern. So here, I'll just paint it out. So drop, break down, drop two, intro. So now we have it down. Oh, breakdown should be here. So a good way to add movement is to change up the percussion every 16. So we can add like a fast hi-hat somewhere here. instead. We'll switch between the jungle shaker. Oh, that sounds dope without anything. Yeah, you can do like, let's do like a fast 16 hi-hat, except you want to add some groove to it, so adjust the velocities. Perhaps you want to take us under the atmospherics when drop comes in, so we'll remove that. That one sounded weird. So that worm, that cowbell, we'll bring that in 16 bars in, like that. That shaker, that little noise, that with the bass, it almost plays like a hi-hat. So when this fast hi-hat comes in, it kind of clashes. So we may not need the fast hi-hat. Maybe just a jungle shaker. Yeah, that's better. We gotta fix that guy. That doesn't sound right. How do you zoom out? Use the ruler at the very top. Learn how to use the magnifying glass. Just click on the ruler, drag up or down. The granularness is making it sound really weird. It's kind of cool. Okay, I need another atmospheric sound. Let's build the intro a little bit. Thanks, man. It's in the works. I think the intro needs a little more work. It needs more energy. It needs more of a build-up. And we need some movement in the bass. We might filter out the bass after 32 bars. Like just like that. I may have another stream where we fine-tune this. We have the basic idea here, but it's one of those I think I need to like sit back and like refocus. Not bad. I say it's not bad. Like I'm doing shortcuts here because of the stream, but there's certain things like filtering out the bass here. I would probably do it differently. I probably want to put the bass sounds into like a multi-parallel chain layer so I can do more modulation and more interesting movement. I'll probably do that in another stream. I'll do all the groundwork and then I can show you how it's done on stream. Want to like put a high pass on that bass as it builds up like this. High pass that bass. We can look here. Yeah, it needs more of an impact when it drops. I'll try to 808 as an impact later. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a stream for today. Let's do a little roundup of what we did today. So we worked on the drums first. I think what we did was we built a break using addictive drums. A really good tool to create your own breaks, right? And this is the drum break. So I took the snare out because we have our own snare. So I didn't want the snare from addictive drums to layer. I want more impact with our one-shot snare. So I'm just using this for the groove. It's just using the hi-hats and the kick. And then we have the actual top kick and snare, right? And that's just a sample. Then we have hi-hats playing here. And then we grouped the drums all together and we added some distortion and drive to it. So the drums before sounded like this without any distortion or compressor. Then we added distortion just to toughen it up, and then we added clipping just to make it sound more tough. And then we built the bass sound using Vital. It's a mouthful to get into how I made it, but essentially it's a lot of LFOs modulating essentially it's modulating the filter. Hopefully you guys were able to follow along how I made the bass. Essentially it's 3 oscillators. There's a sub bass, there's 2 other oscillators playing the grimy sound, and then it's being filtered with this fast LFO. There's a noise, and it's also adding some distortion to it. And then I took that patch and made another patch with it to make this one. It's just the same patch, but with a few parameters changed up. And then finally, we had some dark atmospherics using these instruments here. A Lev lens was the one I really went out on. Really good sounds for dark atmospherics for drum and bass. And yeah, these instruments are by Spitfire, who is today's sponsor for the stream. And just a reminder, all their tools is 40% off on spitfireaudio.com. You can find the links down below. The one I'm using, a Lev lens, is $17 US. There's a few other ones to check out. The Spectrum one is really good as well. Also, the other one I was using was the Heinbach landfill totems. So yeah, check them out. Link below, $17. Sponsored for today's video. And all their other tools are also 40% off. So you can check them out at spitfireaudio.com. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed today's stream and you guys picked something up from the sound design and the composition section. I think one of the big lessons, again, is more the approach, right? I came in here with an idea, and I was kind of bent on like coming in with an idea, and that kind of stunts your creativity. So make sure you come in and clear those expectations so you can approach the sound design, the programming with a fresh mind without any barriers, because when you have those expectations, you close yourself off from creative possibilities and decisions. And when you put those expectations away, then you're able to approach the session with a lot more freedom, and a lot more choices will open up to you. And that's just exactly what happened when I was first designing the bass. I was just hitting a brick wall. I just didn't like how it sounded. And then in my mind, I was like, I'm going to try this again. Let's start over again and get those expectations out of the way, approach it with a clear mind. And then I was open to all these other new possibilities. For example, the different shape in the LFO, the different rate, different modulation choices in terms of the filter and the distortion. And then I was able to break free out of the matrix and pull in a nasty bass sound. So that's the lesson. Approach it with a free mind. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this session. Thank you for tuning in today's stream. Hope you guys are having an awesome holiday. And yeah, I'll try to go in on this track later today, fine tune it. And if I'm successful, we'll drop by for another stream to polish up this track. So until then, stay safe, guys, stay creative, and I'll see you at the next stream. Peace.